I feel like we were just doing this a week ago, that we were here looking at an AliExpress sale for all end of days. Well, it's time has come again for Black Friday and Black Friday watch deals. So today we're going to look at AliExpress, we're going to look at maybe some Joma Shop and a few other things, and hopefully find some deals for you. All right, before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, do all the things you do, and come join the ride that is this channel. This is the Nick of Time Watch Reviews, where we do value-based watch reviews. In addition, we also sometimes look at some nicer things so we can all dream about, chase, save our pennies for, and maybe buy those as well. With that said, let's jump on to the interwebs and find ourselves some great watch deals for this Black Friday. Alrighty, let's do some shopping, shall we? I'm going to spend your money. The first one up here is actually a watch that I have sitting right here in front of me. And this is the Baltany bronze diver that they have with that cool honeycomb face on it. And this one right now, it doesn't really show here until the sale kicks in. But on the previous page, when you go before you click on it, you'll see that that little bugger is actually going to be on sale for $128.88. Fantastic deal, really cool watch, and really the cheapest way you're going to get into a bronze watch and a nice diver, which is all the rage. I will tell you that the band on this is very nice, very soft, just a cool looking watch. The only negative I think on it is that it is an aluminum bezel, not a ceramic bezel. I kind of wish that was, I'm becoming a ceramic snob, but aside from that, fantastic watch, super comfortable, and a neat thing to wear if you want to get into the bronze world for about $125. Next, you wouldn't think of it, but you can buy Orient watches on AliExpress, and Orient's store there is actually really substantial and kitted out, their official store. And I really like this watch, and this one you'll see is their TriStar Classic watch. Very cool, interesting watch, and it has in-house movement. It's just very pretty, super respected watch. It's only a mineral crystal display, but to get a nice Japanese, sister brand to Seiko watch in a 40mm case. Right now, with the special, you get an extra band and a little case with it and whatnot for $167. Something to be considered. Next, we jump over to our friends at San Martin, and this one is a chance to kind of step into the sub-homage, a royal type brand underwater submersible inspired watch, and to be able to get there with San Martin's quality and everything else at a price of around $182, which is a really good deal. San Martin has a massive amount of sale right now, but this is one I was calling out because it's not one I've highlighted before in the channel, and I'm in a subby kind of mode with a couple watches that came in recently, so it made me think about this one. Plenty of watches on sale. It's a huge thing there here, but this is the SN0019G. It's a 41mm, classic dive watch with a 200-meter depth on it, water resistance, which is really cool. And the neat thing about this is it's a PT5000, so you get that extra, 4 ticks per second smooth swing to that second hand, which is really cool versus like an H35. In addition, it's going to be has the option of being a little bit thinner as well. And 200 meters of dive depth is awesome. Plenty of other watches at St. Martin, though. This was the one that just kind of grabbed my attention right now. Although I will say I recently got a Sea Stern subby homage, and it is a fantastically cool watch and great for the price. Next, we're over friends at Lobinni, and I have a couple Lobinni, a micro rotor, and then a funky chrono thing. Don't like the chrono thing as much as the micro rotor one. Reviews for both are coming, but I really like the very cool design of this and the sweep to the minute and hour hand of this watch. And I think it's a very kind of high class design for this. $176. When they're doing their element, which is kind of like fine detail work, I think Lobinni does just some of the best jobs on AliExpress for what they do. Another thing they've done is this one here, which they've updated the micro rotor and given it, I have the white one, it's a very plain face, and now they've got a design for one, whereas it has much more of a fun and playful face to it. And you can kind of see here with the gold and the black. I bought a white face one that has the plain face. This black one with the tones and kind of a bigger sweep to make it more dramatic on the face, I think is really kind of a cool and improved design. $227, not super cheap, not a massive sale, but I was impressed by seeing a new design for this watch where it was really plain in the front, but the show is all about the backside. Don't make a joke there. I'm better than making a joke. I'm going to resist at making a backside joke. They're not going to show you. There you go. It's a micro rotor movement. It's the only micro rotor movement that I've seen from China down in this couple $100 price range. In fact, Baltic watches also have this in the like $600 price range. Really cool, gorgeous. I love the one that I have. Super neat. So interesting thing to put out there and to take a look at when you're doing your shopping. Following that is Hruodland. It's fun to say Hruodland. And this is their sort of AP Royal Oak kind of thing. If you're into that, something different to have on your wrist if you have all the other stuff. They have it with some very interesting looking options from a dial perspective, like a mother of pearl, classic blue, greens. I think their logo, by the way, with Hruodland over the anchor, it's kind of cool looking. So very neat. You know, backside isn't as interesting, but you still do get like the screw down back panel with the design elements that way. I think they're really interesting watches. I have a Hruodland Pilot with a rotating like turbo fan on it that I really like a lot. And it's definitely a keeper watch for this period of my watch collecting. So something interesting if you're into this, something different, and to be able to get into this, $227, about 10% off. Not a bad deal. Next is our folks at Cronos, and not a great deal, but if you were itching to get their GMT, Pepsi, you can now get it in the $280 range instead of the $300 range. Check it when you can actually apply your coupons. You might be able to stack some coupons there to get it even lower, but I'm very intrigued by this. I still do not yet own a Cronos, and their stuff is excellent. I do have the Pagani one, but I got one of the V1s, and you can see that's an aluminum bezel and not a ceramic. And then immediately they came out with a V2 or a V3 with a ceramic bezel, and I went, So I may be selling this and buying the ceramic one and then doing a review on the ceramic one instead, or on both. Great watch though. Cronos has a bunch of other watches on sale and on special, but if you look at this one, it just looks class. Gorgeous, gorgeous watch. They've got a darker Pepsi, a lighter Pepsi, Hulks, and I don't know. They talk to me. They speak to me. They're not cheap though. Seagull. This is my regular reminder pitch. This is one of my favorite watches I own. It's my wife's favorite watch I own. I have it on a brown band, a nicer leather band than the cheap one it kind of comes with. But for $85, it's a beautiful dress watch. Throw it on a better band here, and you have a go everywhere, do everything, inexpensive, but I guarantee people will look over and go, that's really nice. And it's very elegant in its subdued simplicity. Addiesdive. This watch is going to be bought by me in the next 6 hours. This is their like snowflake bezel 39mm business watch with, I really like the blue hands that it has because I feel like plays off of that back, the blue. It's only a second hand, but still it looks really, really cool. 100 meters of water splash resistance, really. And I just think that it's a really cool one. They have this also with a pale blue face to it, but it's something different. I think it's kind of nice. It's an NH35 bulletproof movement. And once again, to get this about $100 after all the discounts, that's a compelling case. It's really just intriguing to me. So thinking about this one quite a bit to add into the collection. It's also got a bunch of micro adjust in the band, which I'm a sucker for. Following that up is our friends at Pagani Design, but here's where you have this sapphire crystal display, GMT. I have this watch like this, but it now comes with a ceramic rotating bezel. And you can see in the pictures here, that is ceramic, not the aluminum that I have on mine. And I so wish mine was in that configuration. So looking forward to that. If you're in the mood, if you're jonesing for something like that, really cool watch. I actually like the band a lot. It fits very well. The neat thing about the GMTs with this one is because that extra hand, the glass is a little bit taller. I guess the whole watch is a little wider, so it almost adds more depth between the face of the watch and the glass. And I kind of like the effect of having that staring down into a deeper barrel. Very neat thing to appreciate. Overall, though, I'm actually quite impressed with this watch. I think it's one of the nicer Pagani designs I've gotten. And to be able to get into that in the $65 range is ludicrous. In some places around the world, you can also have very quick shipping because they may have it in stock to ship to your country. It looks like they do not have any of them in stock in the US at the moment. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. The black on blue Batman style is in the US and it ships to the US very, very quickly. maybe I'll pivot and go that way with it because I do not own a Batman as of yet. Something to consider. Moving on, Baltany. I might have highlighted this before. I'm not sure. It's not a massive discount. It's about $10 off, but there's some more coupons you can stack. But this is a VK64 mecha-quartz chrono, and I think with a white face on a tan band looks just the part. I think it's ludicrously gorgeous. And then if you scroll down further, this is actually blue, and this is it in a panda type situation. I think you can't go wrong with either of those three options. I really think they're great. I love the Baltany that I have, and I think this would be the next Baltany I would buy were I to make the plunge in this direction. I have the little 36mm bubble back, which it's kind of like when you get old enough to like drive a Miata and not care what people would think of you. I don't have a Miata, but I wanted one at one point. The little 36mm bubble back is like, yeah, I could own a bigger watch and I could rock a lot of other things, but I really feel comfortable with this little bugger. And it's just class. It's beautiful. That's this little guy right here. I have it with the dots, not the numerals on it. Just absolutely love it. And I think you can get into that for under $200, $181 or less with the sale as well. Next, this is a shameless plug because this Berny I've talked about a bunch of times. Everybody's talked about it, but the fact that you can get it for $68 US for Berny's kind of signature orange diver, they have it in a black face as well. I have a video coming up tomorrow for this very watch. Absolutely love it. It is my must-buy recommendation. I think that it is just for the price and for the style. There are 1,000 divers that look like a Submariner or a Deep Sea or any of the Seikos or that are a rotating external bezel, the face of different proportions or whatever, but they're all a very similar formula. This is a different take. I know super compressors have been out for a long time, but you don't see them. And even my watch friends haven't seen something like this, and they always ask about it like, wow, that's a really, really cool watch. And to get something that grabs attention, that's got a relatively bulletproof Miota movement in it, sapphire displays in front and back for under $200 or under $100 even, it's an excellent deal. Bernie's got a bunch of other stuff. Everyone loves their little railroad watch. They've got some neat other ones coming up too, like this little bugger for $45. I mean, it's an automatic watch. It has, I believe this is the one with a sapphire crystal display. It's ridiculous that you can get this watch for the low price of $42.50. I mean, come on. And you can spend a little more and get it customized for you. I'd get it with a black face myself. Looks kind of cool. Think about it. Neat stuff. I'm a big fan of Berny things. Pricing is just fantastic. Can't beat it. Finally, last but definitely not least, is from Sugess. I have a Sugess 1963, kind of a Breitling Hamilton homage that we'll have a video for soon. But this is their very cool other homage that they have, which has the Seagull ST 1901 swan neck movement. Very distinctive treatment to the face of the watch. And I think it just looks great. It also looks like it has a band that doesn't suck. Some of the walk bands that come with those black wannabe crocodile bands are just kind of junk. But this is just a really cool looking, it's distinctive. It's a very specific homage. So depending on how you feel about that, one way or the other. But I think it's just wonderful. And if you're coming to bat and you don't yet have a ST 1901 in your collection, you should think about this one. The cool thing too is I like the light, almost orange leather on the back, and then you see this beautiful movement that it's just it's incredible, fantastic deal. But with all of that, what are you gonna buy? What's jumping out at you? The sale isn't nearly as good as the 11/11 sale, but there are a lot of great deals to be had there, especially like Pagani or Berny at the low end. Very good value-based decisions, and the higher end you can just save 10 or 15% off what you might have missed a couple weeks ago. Maybe you're out of your budget cycle, maybe a little extra dough right now. Something to think about. With all of that, this has been Nick of Time Watch Reviews. I've been Nick, you've been you, and just remember, it doesn't always cost a lot of money to put something on your wrist that can make you smile. Come back again soon. Thanks. Take care.